Hey, friends out there. This is February 3rd, 2022. And it is just about, it's about 19 minutes before 6 in the morning here in Northern California. And as usual, I'll talk about a few different things. Again, I'm sorry about my voice. Believe me, it's nothing I have control over. I've been taking steps to mitigate it, but, God knows what's going on with everything that's going around these days. So I feel fine. I don't have a fever. I've been tested in the past, and I didn't have it. And this virus I'm talking about, the corona thing, COVID, whatever you want to call it, goes by many names. We all know what we're talking about. The Omicronian, COVID-19, coronavirus, and all its variants, Delta, and I forget some of the other names, but there's plenty of stuff going around, if you know what I mean. And God knows how it all got started. I just heard that Meatloaf comment when he was blaming China and Trump doing that too. Hey, look, maybe these wet markets, right here in the United States, look, what's that song, Elvis Presley, Clean Up Your Own Backyard. Listen to that song, friends. Beautiful. What are we talking? We're going back to what, the 50s, early 60s maybe, at the most, the latest. But yeah, let's clean up our own backyard in America, everybody, before we go pointing the fingers. This Biden business in the Ukraine, this makes me crazy, because I'm thinking to myself, that's why you get sarcastic like I did last week. I say put Putin and Biden in a ring, and I was looking up the weight, and they're very close. Within 5 or 10 pounds of each other. I don't know how much age is a consideration, but they're less than 10 years apart in age. They're both senior citizens. So, if Biden took care of himself better than Putin, then, I think it's a completely fair match in the ring. But I'm not a violent guy. I'm an admitted pacifist, which means, to me, in my mind, a pacifist just means that you hate violence. It should be used absolutely as a last resort, only in the defense of innocence, men, women, and children. And we are to hate it the way God hates violence. But, so I don't watch boxing. None of that stuff. I'm not into the violence, the MMA, whatever they call it, the mixed martial arts. I really don't get off on it. There's a lot of sports that I don't even want to watch that I love to do. And it almost makes me jealous. Like, I watched somebody surfing some really nice waves, and I'm thinking, I'm going back to when I was a teenager. I'm thinking, God, it brought so much joy to my life when I was 15 and I started surfing. And I just can't tell you, friends. Before that, I was into, because, guys especially, when they're young, they're, young and dumb and full of rum. Well, when they get older, just kidding, but you get the point. But they got to get their yayas out, they really do, with all the hormones, pumping the testosterone and everything. But I had a little dirt bike. I remember I worked on a dairy farm in Connecticut when I was 15. Long story how I got in Connecticut, because I spent the vast majority of my life on the West Coast. But yeah, I missed my freshman year of high school, and I worked on this farm in Connecticut, dairy farm, shoveling cow poop. And I actually got to drive the tractor and bale hay. And one time my boss, Alva Beebe, it's a hard name to forget, Fitchville, Connecticut, not far from Norwich. And for lunch, he used to give me a big glass of raw milk, like an iced glass, and it was just great. My mom would pack a couple of peanut butter sandwiches, and man, so hungry at that age, working hard and scarfing those things down, the milk. And but you put me in a pen. I guess all the heifers, the females try to get impregnated. It's a big part of dairy farming. You got to have, these impregnated cows producing milk. And with one bull, and he gave me a stick, and I could see he was getting such a kick out of it. He wasn't laughing or smiling too broadly, but he put me in this pen with these, and that bull just looked at me, and I just thought, God Almighty, he's got to be kidding me. I mean, it was a life and death thing, which happened to me quite a bit before that in my life, sailing with my dad. I thought I was going to die many times before that, but I've had PTSD since I was a kid, friends. 7 years old when I accidentally started a fire. I put it out, thank God, before the fire department got there, but put the fear of God in my soul way back when I was 7. But being in that pen with that bull, and he'd give me that stick, and I just was looking for the nearest tree, and I thought, man, I'm going to jump. White boys can jump. But you never know when you're, fear of being mauled by a bull, you're probably capable of superhuman feats. But yeah, it was rough. The worst part about the job was, these cute little calves when they were born. One of my jobs was bringing them pails of milk, but they separate the calves from the mother because what happens is I had to load this calf onto the truck. This little calf, so cute, like a little puppy. I'm telling you, they wagged their tails the whole bit. They're freaking adorable, just like every other baby creature. That's the way God made it. It's something really cosmic. God's this master, unsurpassable artist of living art. I mean, it's mind-blowing. But, I was just, infatuated with this baby calf. It was adorable. Bringing it pails of milk, and it loved me like its mother. And it's just a beautiful thing. But then I had to load it on a truck. It was going on market for veal. So, rough job. I had to shovel, pitchfork, a lot of this stuff. I forget what the hell they called it, but it was just this mash that they take some of the corn, because they grow a lot of corn to feed, so save on feed costs for the livestock, the cows. And but that was one of the things that the cows would eat. They loved that stuff. It was steaming, it was this, I don't know what it was. It was just like corn and husks, and so they could waste as little as possible. He kept it under a tarp, keep the weather off it. But how I got distracted on this story, I forgot because I digress so much. But I was talking about what I had, how I saved up that money from working on that dairy farm and missing my freshman year of high school and then when I got back home, it was Santa Cruz. Spent most of my life in that area, especially growing up when I was younger. But I had my eye on this mini bike. I was into those things when I was 11, 10 years old, living in Felton in the Santa Cruz Mountains there. My friends were into my peer group, and mini bikes were big. Before that was Stingrays were cool when you were a little kid. Just the bicycles. But then came mini bikes. And then I wanted this little Honda XR75 I bought. And I remember I used to sneak over, drive it to the nearest field, which turned out the Intel ended up going there. And I ended up working there when I was a teenager too, or early 20s, I forget. But Intel, I know they had a factory. We're going back to 1973 when it was